This is Michael Gerace with Clearview Sewer Cams. It is January 21st, 2021. We're performing a video sewer inspection through a 4-inch ABS plastic mainline cleanout. And we are located at 221 South St. Andrews Place, Los Angeles, California. And we are on the on the right-hand side of the house as you're facing the house from the front yard. And this is going down the walkway toward the street, toward the front of the house and toward the street. And this is going toward the backyard area and the back wall. This is our clean out. We're going to zero out our camera monitor right here. We're going to begin running our camera. We'll get some buildup right here. And we're in a little bit of water right here. We've got a belly in the line holding water right there. And this is as we're just going into the main line clean out. I don't believe that that's going to create any issues right there with that holding water. We'll see what the rest of the line looks like. We just flushed a lot of water through the line. Line looks like it's draining. Water is going out, so that's a very, very short section of line that has a belly. We have another area though that we have a belly in. This is right on the side of the house. We're at about 16 feet on the camera monitor, which is pretty close to the fireplace chimney. We'll see how long this belly is. Again, we have another short belly. It looks like this was pulled trenchlessly from what I can see. The piping wasn't reamed real well either, and that's holding back a little bit of water right there. And it's got a little bit of a hump. As you can see, the end of the pipe is kind of jagged right here. It may catch debris. It'll catch a little bit, but it's not going to catch enough debris to stop up the line, I do not believe. Then we get over that area, and again, now we're draining out. We're draining good. More than likely, they ran the trenchless piping from this area. I believe the other piping may have been ABS plastic. And we're a little bit flat in this area as well. We've got some buildup on the side walls of the piping. The piping does not have all that much grade. Right in this area, you can see the water standing. But we did run quite a bit of water, and it is flushing out. It just doesn't have the 1/4 inch per foot of grade that it should have. As you can see here, we got a little bit of water standing still in this area. And then that's appears to be a rolled joint, trenchless joint from what we can see. And now we've got grade. We're at the front of the house. And again, we've got water standing. This line was pulled trenchlessly, and it appears that it didn't have a whole lot of grade. That's why we're getting the buildup on the side walls of the piping, because we didn't have enough grade on this piping. Most of the time with ABS plastic or poly piping, the trenchless piping, it will wash through. Everything will wash through because it is plastic. It doesn't have a whole lot of joints. Right here we have another joint. That appears to be ABS plastic right here from what I can see. It's not a rolled joint. Very difficult to tell sometimes. tell if that might be a clean out right there, possibly. We're going to pause and we're going to try and locate this area. Okay, we're going to push out and we're going to locate this after if we need to. That's 61 feet. We'll locate it regardless, but we'll do it at the end of the video as we're coming back at 61 feet. We'll try and see where that area is. A short piece of pipe. Doesn't look like an inlet, but it's very difficult to tell. That does look like an inlet right there at 74 feet. So we'll locate these areas out in front after. Again, we've got a little bit of standing water right there. More bellies. That joint appears to be in fair condition. Most of the joints look to be in fair condition. Joint appears to be in fair condition. That joint appears to be in fair condition. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. And now we're transitioning to the vitreous clay, the 6-inch. So we're transitioning from 4-inch property sewer line, the poly piping or ABS plastic piping, to vitreous clay. And now we're in the 6-inch vitreous clay. And we've got a fairly substantial offset right there. Our spring is actually getting hung up on that a little bit as we come back. You can see we're dropping down into it. You can't really see too much of the top of the pipe. It's not terrible, but we got a little bit of an offset right there. We have a joint right here. Could be a joint or a crack. Very difficult to tell, but trying to see. We're at 92 feet. It doesn't look like it goes all the way around, so. And that is the joint right here next to it. So we do have a crack in the piping. We have a crack at approximately 92 feet, 3 inches on the camera monitor. And this is in the 6-inch vitreous clay. And we have some roots in the next joint. A considerable amount of roots in the next joint. The joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. We have more roots in the next joint. And we have a pretty good separation right there too at 98 feet. We're going to push out and then we're going to locate all these areas. We have more roots at about 99 feet on the camera monitor. We have more roots here at 101 feet on the camera monitor. More roots again at 104 feet on the camera monitor. Can't see any major breaks at this point, but we do have a lot of root intrusions. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Some more roots. Minor roots at 107 feet. The joint has minor root intrusion as well at 109 feet. Joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at 110 feet. A fairly large offset here at about 113 feet, 112.9 on our camera monitor. Pretty large separation there. We're making a turn, making a drop into the city sewer. That's our saddle area. That joint appears to be in fair condition at 113 feet. And that is our city sewer tie-in connection at 114 feet 2 inches on the camera monitor. So we're going to pause for a moment. We're going to get our locator and begin marking areas. I'm going to pause. Okay, we marked this area in the street out in front of the house at approximately 9 foot 5 inches deep. We marked this with a dot of orange spray paint. Now we're going to begin pulling back. The saddle area appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. And right next to it, you have a very large offset and a big separation on this right-hand side on the screen. And that's part of the saddle area. We'll continue to pull back. A very minor root intrusion off of that right side at about the 3 o'clock area on the screen. Very minor root intrusion at the bottom. Again, some minor root intrusion at the 5 o'clock area and at about the 8 o'clock area on the screen. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. You have some fairly heavy root intrusion at the 5 o'clock area and at about the 8 o'clock area on the screen. Same thing on this joint at about the 5 o'clock area and 8 o'clock area. We have some more root intrusion. Same thing in that joint. And we got root intrusion all the way from the 5 o'clock area around to about the 1 o'clock area. Minor root intrusion, some heavier root intrusion at about the 8 o'clock area. That joint appears to be in fair condition. These are all in the street. We're not going to mark every joint with spray paint because we'll mark up the street pretty badly and it'll look terrible. We have some heavier root intrusion here from about the 1 o'clock area to about the 5 o'clock area. That's pretty heavy root intrusion beginning there. Then we have the crack here as well in the piping. And we're going to go locate this area and we're going to mark this area out. Okay, we marked this area where we have this crack in the piping. It goes about from the 9 o'clock area to about the 4 o'clock area. Look like a joint, but then you see that there is nothing at beyond the 3 o'clock point and the 9 o'clock point. And the joint is right behind it. It's only a couple inches behind it. So this is a crack going pretty much all the way around half the pipe. We're going to pull back. We marked this area at 4 foot 6 inches deep. We marked it with a dot of orange spray paint, and it is on the curb area on the right front corner of the property as you're facing the property from the street. So we're going to begin pulling out still in this next joint. Have a little bit of an offset there, but not terrible. And this is still our 6-inch vitreous clay. Now we have a large offset, and this is right at about the sidewalk area. Pretty good size offset there. And then we have our 4-inch vitreous clay. 4-inch ABS plastic to 6-inch vitreous clay as we drop down into it. The 6-inch vitreous clay could be lined from the property line to the city saddle area. The saddle looks to be okay, so just need to shoot a liner into the sewer line to cover up all the root intrusions and the crack, so it gives it stability and keeps it from getting damaged further. We're going to go mark this area at the transition real quick so that if anybody does want to excavate this area and shoot the liner, they can from right here. I'm going to pause for a moment. Okay, we marked this area at 5 foot 2 inches deep, and it is in the parkway area. Generally, the 4-inch by 6-inch transition, the city lateral transition, is on the owner's property, not in the right-of-way. Usually it comes back on the house side of the sidewalk. I would check to see if permits were pulled when this new ABS poly piping was replaced, and find out if it was permitted, because generally, as I said, that transition would be on the property. So we're going to begin pulling back further. And we looked at all the ABS plastic. All the joints appear to be in pretty fair and maintainable condition. The only problem we had is we had a little standing water in areas, but now we're draining out. Here we've got some standing water, and just in that fitting, I'm going to try and locate this area real quick. I'm going to pause and locate this area, see if we have another clean out possibly buried. Okay, we located this area by the front fence, and most likely it is the test tee for the sewer line when they put it in. And it is buried under some bushes right by the front fence on the right hand side of the property. So we're going to continue to pull back. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. So does that joint. We're just going to continue pulling back all the way to our clean out. Got a lot of the water is drained down. You just got some pockets like right here. Got a pocket of water. It's kind of standing a little bit, but the majority of the water has drained down. So it's running pretty flat. It may have a 1/16 of an inch per foot of fall, possibly, where it should have a 1/4 inch per foot of fall. Again, we have water standing here, just a tiny bit. So you might have a little tiny belly here and there that will keep the water from flowing smoothly. Like right here, we got quite a bit of water. We were actually underwater a little bit. And that's right by the clean out area. But then we come out of the water. And then we come out of the water, coming back toward our clean out. I believe that the line will drain okay. You have to be careful with wipes and different things. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me put this on. Let me shut off my mic. Okay, we're going to continue to pull back. As I said, we've got some water standing here. Little pockets of water right here, but I don't foresee that to be a huge issue. You have to be careful with wipes, like sanitary wipes, baby wipes, because they will hit that water and slow down and then they can clog stop this. And that will conclude our video sewer inspection.